What an amazing trip.
Hey, how's it going everyone? Hope you had an amazing holiday season. I'm Brian and this video is on our Colorado snowboard trip of December 2022. So I've actually been to Colorado before once in the summer when I went from Ontario, Canada to California for a co-op term. Now I don't have the most amazing photos or videos at that time, but I just vividly remember how much I was blown away by Colorado's beauty. Just driving through Colorado, it's absolutely beautiful. And there's a lot more national forest here than I thought. Like you can probably spend a whole week here just doing camping. And apparently there's river rafting as well, and you can ski during the winter. So, hey, I like this place. Honestly, by the looks of it, I don't see why I shouldn't revisit here some other time. And here I am. Only took me 7 years. And this time for snowboarding in 4 resorts, starting with Steamboat. So this being the first day of the season and our only day in Steamboat, we unfortunately didn't get to explore most of it. On the runs that we did do though, we noticed that the snow condition was really good. We later found out that apparently Steamboat does have a unique snow with like 6% water content as opposed to 15% everywhere else. And they even trademarked it. It's called champagne powder. Pretty interesting. One pro tip that I must share is to find out where the free parking lots are before you get to the village. Otherwise, you may end up like us, spending 50 bucks on parking. Terrible way to start the day, if you ask me. And next up is Winter Park, where we spend 2 days. What I liked about Winter Park was that all the lifts higher up in the mountain are very well connected, and there's a lounge on top of most lifts. This makes it so that it's very easy and convenient for you to take a break whenever you want, and you hardly ever have to get to the bottom of the mountain until the day is over. Also, there are some really long blue and green runs, especially if you go all the way from Lunch Rock down to Pioneer Express. Although that's a bit of a double-edged sword because my biggest gripe with Winter Park was the long flat sections just before High Lonesome Express and Pioneer Express. You really have to charge at it in order to not get stuck, and it took us a few times to get these speed right. So doing the bindings over and over again got real old real fast. Also, I'm not sure if it's like too early in the season, but Panoramic Express to get to the highest point in the mountain was not open yet, so that was a bit of a bummer. And the third stop is Copper Mountain. But before we talk about the resort, one of the best parts about Copper is getting to Copper. We stayed in Glenwood Springs, so we passed through Glenwood Canyon, Beaver Creek, and Vail every time we get to Copper. We've legit filmed the same scenes over and over again because every time we see it, we're just like, wow, I gotta get that. But I digress. Now back to Copper Mountain. I loved Copper Mountain. To this day, Copper has been the best overall experience of any mountain I've been to in recent memory, and that includes Whistler, Sunshine Village, Lake Louise, and the resorts on this trip. And that experience starts right when you get to the resort as well, where they have an amazing crew and shuttle system that will get you to the slopes in no time, even on the busiest days. And the runs themselves are amazing as well. The blue and green runs are all concentrated in a central part of the mountain with minimal crisscrossing, and they're well marked, so it's extremely easy to navigate. They're also well maintained and there's a good variety of terrain. And the views I think are better than Steamboat and Winter Park. Both of those have more of a local town scenery, whereas Copper feels more alpine. And another big bonus for any mountain is to have a green or at least a blue coming down from the top of the mountain. And for Copper, that is Timber Ridge Trail. And then once you're exhausted at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is to walk back to your car, which Winter Park made us do, but not Copper Mountain. Godsend shuttle system does it again. So yeah, all in all, absolutely loved Copper. Highly recommended for everyone. And the last resort on the hit list is Arapahoe Basin, or A Basin, as it is commonly referred to. Hands down, A Basin wins the best view out of the 4 resorts, even though it feels the smallest. But what it's really known for is challenging terrain. Case in point, we went down a blue run called Loafer, and it was a rather unexpected struggle to say the least. Like, it was basically equivalent to black runs in most other resorts. In fact, we did 2 days of Copper, 1 day of Arapahoe, and another day of Copper. And on the last day of Copper, we missed a turn and got onto a black run. And we just said, screw it, let's do it. And it didn't feel bad at all. So I recommend A Basin as sort of a boot camp experience, if you will, but just make sure you're mentally prepared.
We just finished our puzzle today, A Basin, and on our way home, for some reason Google takes us uphill, and we ended up here. Loveland Pass, elevation 11,000, almost 12,000, and it's a continental divide. I hope so, thank you.
Now, there are definitely some cons of snowboarding early in the season, but one of the biggest pros, and I think what makes this all worth it, is the unbeatable Colorado Christmas vibes. No, sorry. Actually, more like...
It's the end of the year. Everywhere on TV, couples and Christmas trees, gift wrapping and cheer. Just the worst time to be without someone special. In all the movies there, kissing in the snow, holding hands and mittens, baking together at home. Not like the movies when I'm walking in the snow, cold hands and mittens, eating gingerbread home alone. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, snowflakes in my hair, carols playing in the air. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, red bow in my hair, sleigh bells in the air. The only thing I'm missing is you. Stockings on fireplace, but in my living room, a single one with my name, knit sweaters and lace. Dressed up alone on the couch during cold winter days. In all the movies there, kissing in the snow, holding hands and mittens, baking together at home. Not like the movies when I'm walking in the snow, cold hands and mittens, eating gingerbread home alone. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, snowflakes in my hair, carols playing in the air. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, red bow in my hair, sleigh bells in the air. The only thing I'm missing is you, darling, you, yeah, you. The only thing I'm missing is you, darling, you, yeah, you. The only thing I'm missing is your Cinderella's letters. He will know that my wish ever since I remember has been the mistletoe kiss. He'll keep on writing letters.
And that wraps it up for our Christmassy snowboard trip in the winter wonderland that is Colorado. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. If you liked this video, please let me know by hitting that thumbs up or leave a comment down below to share any thoughts you may have. Wishing you all a wonderful 2023, and until next time.
Kissing under bright lights, red bow in my hair, sleigh bells.